everybody. So, as usual, we're just going to give it a minute or two here because this wasn't planned out ahead of time too far. I see Lewis and Rebecca coming in. Appreciate it, you guys. Yeah, just kind of a spur of the moment. I kind of warned you guys I was going to go at some time this week, but I didn't know when. So we're just going to give it a minute or two. Hopefully it'll send out some notifications and we can get a couple more people in the house. Normally Captain Jack goes during this time, but he is not going to be doing a live stream today or tomorrow. So I figured why not do it today while I was feeling somewhat good and give you guys an update here. So in the meantime, I don't have the cards over here. Give me a second and I will go pick a question for us. We will pick a question while we wait for notifications to be sent out and some people to join. I see Linda's joining. Hey, Linda. Thank you for stopping in. I'm just going to randomly pick one right in the middle for tonight. I don't like that one. I don't like that one either. Well, you guys should know. Am I a cat person or a dog person? You guys should know that one. Well, technically, actually, I am a cat person. I'm sorry, Rocky, but I am a cat person. So actually, it would have been the opposite of what many of you probably would have thought. Let's see. I'm trying to come up with a card here, but by the time I pick a good one, there's probably going to be people in the house ready to go. Here's a good one. Let me type it into chat. If your current life were a movie, what would the title be? That's the question of the night. If your current life were a movie, what would the title be? And I see more and more people coming in the house, so as I put these cards away, we'll get the ball rolling here. That was just kind of a filler, something exciting. I know people used to love when we did the cards questions, so something to pass a little bit of time while notifications was being sent out. Don't want to break my hard drive. That would have been bad. I see Lily stopping in. We got Scooby Snacks. We got the whole gang here. So I'm going to get going here. Mouse on a wheel. Nancy comes in saying mouse on a wheel. I can hear you there, Nancy. So basically, as you guys know, I went in yesterday, for a consultation regarding surgery. Now, many of you probably can tell by the title, apparently I don't need surgery. So, is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? I'm not sure. So, what ended up happening, as many of you already know, one of the problems I've been experiencing was hemorrhoids. So during my consultation Monday, I got a physical done. We talked about family history. We talked in detail from beginning to present, what I've been experiencing, how frequent it is, etc., etc. This is the first doctor to actually, sorry you guys, this cord's like messing up. It's driving me nuts. This is the first doctor that actually sat down and listened to the full story from beginning to present on what I've been experiencing and really taking a deep dive on family history, etc., etc. So we went and got a physical done, and he tells me that really I don't need to continue doing any of the stuff I have been for hemorrhoids. That is not the problem anymore. Now, I'm going to spare you guys from the details, But basically, problem A was hemorrhoids. I see Georgianne coming in. Hey, Georgianne, thank you for stopping in. Yeah, I'll spare you guys the details, but basically, problem A was the hemorrhoids. Problem A has now been solved, but problem B has taken its place, and problem B is a side effect from having hemorrhoids. It's a consequence, a side effect. Basically, the hemorrhoids caused this. So problem A has now been solved at this point, meaning I don't need surgery. Problem B, they have me doing a couple different things. And the doctor was very, very confident that I would be 100% in 4 to 6 weeks. And I even told him, look, I am the manager at the college over in Ironwood. I have graduation coming up, move out coming up, move in. I want to take a moment here. Lewis is bringing up a really good point. He said, pray for the people. Why am I having a brain fart? Indiana, Ohio, and I'm having a brain fart right now. I literally have it in my head and I don't know what it is. Yes, Kentucky. I've been sitting here the entire time. Really bad storms over there right now. We are actually, speaking of bad storms, not to get too sidetracked, we're actually about to get hammered here with a winter storm, and we're talking about possibly canceling school tomorrow, which if we did, it would be the first snow day school-wise, where we just take the entire day off because of how much snow we're going to get. Absolutely ridiculous. I see Lily saying that they have nice weather. Please, Lily, send some my way. I was laughing because we had snow on Easter, but not on Christmas. Which, up here, like I said back in December, that was unheard of. There is practically nothing on record showing a Christmas. Like the last Christmas where we didn't have snow, I think was 1933. So ironic that we had snow on Easter, but not Christmas. So going back to what I was saying, basically the doctor was telling me all this stuff, and I said, look, I got graduation coming up, people moving out, interns and stuff moving in, and I looked at them, and I said, Linda's actually bringing up exactly where I was going with this. What does the doctor think about the plane ride to Kenya? I said, look, I went to Europe for New Year's, and flying to Europe was the worst experience in my entire life. I was in so much pain and so uncomfortable. And he said he can't imagine it. His face, his eyes got big, and he's like, I can't imagine flying with the problem I have currently, plus back then, most likely hemorrhoids on top of problem B. And he said, I could see very easily why you would have been in very much pain and uncomfortable. And I told him, dead in the eye, I looked at him dead in the eye, and I said, Kenya is not being canceled. I don't care if I have to limp across the safari as a lion chases me. This trip is not being canceled. And he laughed, and his response was that I am very confident in 4 to 6 weeks, you will be 110%. So that is a really good thing. It sounds like I won't even remember how much pain I was in a couple weeks. And again, I don't want to go too deep into details here. But he's got me taking a couple different steps now to fix problem B. And he also wrote a prescription for me. Unfortunately, the prescription was out of stock at Walmart. It was supposed to come in today or tomorrow. Unfortunately, it didn't come in today, so I should get it tomorrow. But the other stuff, answering Lily's question, the other stuff I have to take and the other stuff I should do and get in the habit of doing, it's very Easy stuff. It's a little uncomfortable at times, but the pain, like today, you guys, I pretty much have had zero pain. Maybe for a couple seconds I've had some pain, but right away I go, okay, I need to do this. I do it, and the pain pretty much instantly goes away. Same thing yesterday. They had me start doing something while I was at the hospital. Later on at night, I started having a flare up. I went, did this procedure right away. Boom. It hurt for a little bit, but then within tops maybe half an hour, 100% again. I I actually had to kind of tell myself pause at one point because I had to rush to the post office after work today and hurry up and get something mailed out, and I was running without even thinking about it. I just I felt that good that I was sprinting to my vehicle, and then once I get to the vehicle, I was like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa. Just because you're feeling this good doesn't mean that you should start running and pushing your physical limits again." But literally within 24 hours, pretty much, that is how big of a difference we've already noticed doing these couple things. And that's not even including the prescription that they wrote. So, as Linda's saying, that's really encouraging. That gives me quite a bit of hope. I don't want to get my hopes up. But at first, as the doctor sitting here going, you don't need surgery, you know where my mind went? My mind didn't go, oh my God, yes, I don't have to deal with recovery pain and all of this and boarding Rocky and blah, blah, blah. That's not where my mind went. When he said I didn't need surgery, I went, oh no, so how much longer do I have to deal with this? How much more hoops do I have to jump through? And blah, 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 blah. I was not looking forward to it. But as of right now, knock on wood, it seems like it's good news and it's very encouraging to have. It is literally, you guys, over the past 24 hours. And I'm hoping it's because of the stuff that's being done. I'm hoping it's not just a good day or whatever for me. But I'm telling you, Sunday night, I was in bed all day, literally. And all day, no matter, despite being in bed all day, I was in severe pain all day Sunday. So comparing today and yesterday to Sunday, it is literally a night and day difference. It is so insane. So very, very encouraging. Really nice to hear on my end as well. Just yes, 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 yes. Um, Things are looking up, hopefully. So that is where I am at medically. Don't need the surgery. Don't need that. Um, I'm kind of laughing, you guys. You know, I canceled my trip to Niagara Falls because I wanted to focus on this surgery and everything. I see Georgianne saying so happy for you. Thank you, Georgianne. I Even though I'm not doing the surgery, I just want to let everyone know I'm still not going to Niagara Falls. For those who haven't heard, they are estimating 1 million people being there. And I'm sorry, I do not have the patience in my life right now to deal with that hecticness. If it was like a nice little calming trip, maybe some bad traffic here and there, no biggie, it would have been worth it. But it, from what I'm hearing, 1 million people that day. People were commenting on Facebook saying that in 2017 they went to the Path of Totality and a 10-minute drive took 7 hours, a 2-hour drive took 2.5 days. I don't want to deal with that. Especially because Rocky and I would be sleeping in my vehicle. I just don't want to deal with that. I see Debbie coming in. Hey, Debbie. So happy you are finally getting some relief. Thank you. You and me both. Because, oh my God, I'm sure you guys could tell I was just over it all. Just over everything at that point, over the last like month, 2 months. It's really taken a hit on me. With that, I do want to talk a little bit about the YouTube channel. Let me share my screen here. I'm not too concerned about it, but I had some people asking me about what's going on with the monetization and stuff like that. So we'll talk a little bit about the YouTube channel tonight and where my thoughts are and whatnot. Let me shut this off. There we go. There we go. So as you guys can see, my channel currently isn't earning anything, and that was because of the reused content, the Zach Zobiak, blah, blah, blah. We've all talked about that at this point. I did not submit an appeal because it was legit. As much as I disagree with it, it was not my content. It was reused. I did not make a significant difference to the video. Never was supposed to be mine or anything like that. This is actually new. Let me read this here. We carefully validate each channel's engagement metrics before they are displayed here. This may take several days to complete. Okay. So, I see Lewis saying he's got to go. Have a good night, Lewis. So basically this is where I'm at right now, guys. 1,700 is my public watch hours. So pretty drastic difference because I was only expecting 700. So really, if you guys are running it in the background, I know Nancy said she was at one point. Nate, he was running it in the background, I know, at some point. Thank you guys. I was literally only expecting 700 hours once everything was reset. So to see it at 1,700, it literally makes no sense to me. I don't know where those numbers are coming from, but that's encouraging as well, I guess. You do need to get up to 3,000, but if I'm also being honest with you guys, I've kind of lost my passion a little bit for YouTube here. Anyone who's done YouTube for a while can tell you the YouTuber burnout, and there's so many big YouTubers right now even quitting the platform because there's such not you guys. You guys are very patient, understanding. The past 2 months proves that point, but YouTube in general is a very high demand, go, 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 go. And I kind of got caught up in that. It's a rat race, basically. I got caught up in that rat race. I got just excited about the idea of monetization, even though when you do become monetized, you're practically making nothing, or you have to jump through hoops. Many of you watch Captain Jack. You know, he's been struggling to get it. He's approved. He's got money sitting in the account, but he can't get to it. That's never been me. You guys know that really from the beginning of this channel, the whole you should have kids by this age, you should graduate college at this age, you should buy a house at this age. You guys know that's not who I am. That's never been who I am, nor has it been who the channel is. It's not me. I got caught up in the rat race. It became a job, and honestly, as much as I loved sharing videos with you guys, sharing stuff, it honestly sucked week to week to constantly be, okay, I need to edit this, I need to edit this, I need to edit this. My passion for YouTube has significantly taken a dive. And Linda's agreeing. It seems like a lot of work. Those 10-minute videos, I don't know if I've ever really talked to you guys about this. Those 10-minute videos, any video, and this is from the beginning of this channel until now, which I've learned a lot in editing between the beginning of the channel to now. Every time I do a 10-minute video for you guys or post a video on YouTube about that length, you're talking literally hours upon hours. When I was on the road, I would literally wake up and work from the moment I woke up until the moment I went to bed, and it would take me 2.5 days to get a 10-minute video made. And Georgianne's saying that's why I decided not to do a channel. And I'm kind of on that line right now. And you guys have, Nate has talked about it before himself. He's even debated about calling it quits. He's talked about that. And obviously he hasn't. And I'm not going to either. And like I said, you guys are very patient, very understanding, and that makes a big difference on my part to these moments of need where I can step back. I see Amy coming in. Hey, Amy. I can step back and take a breather and whatnot, but I do apologize. I know I have a lot of subscribers right now. I know I haven't been posting the Europe videos, stuff like that. And Debbie's saying it's a ton of work, but I'm sorry if you're new to the channel. I just want to let you know now things are going to be different than I even did in the past. One video every single week, as much as I would love to do that for you guys, I don't know. It is a lot of work. It is a lot. And it's very time consuming. And I would love to share these stories with you guys. But also, I love writing more than anything. And some of the videos, not some of, most of my videos, a majority of my videos, if you don't like live streams like this, more often than not, you're really not going to like my short videos either. Because most of the time, it is me just sitting and talking like this. Maybe I'll throw some videos up, or maybe I'll share some photos. But for the most part, it's just me talking just like I am right now. It's, I see Debbie saying, just keep posting pictures of Rocky, please. And that's another reason why this is coming up too, is someone kind of commented about how I'm posting every single day, more or less, on the community posts. And part of that is because I know a lot of you don't have other social medias. You've shared that through other YouTube live streams. So I want to share these stuff like the trip to Duluth, to share some pictures of how that trip went. Share some pictures of Rocky. I know everybody loves Rocky. Speaking of Duluth too, I got approved. My TSA pre-check got approved. So awesome, awesome, awesome. Something like that. That little thing right there, my TSA got approved. That's not worth a whole hour live stream by itself. But then do you sit down and make a 10-minute video about, okay, well, Rocky and I went and did this and I don't really, I don't know. Like, you also want to live in the moment type of deal. And you've heard me, Captain Jack, Nate, all of us talk about living in the moment. And it's a very fine line. It's tricky to be talking about, oh, it's this location and this is what happened there, but also live in the moment. It's a ton of work. I see Amy saying, I do 1 hour edits, but nothing fancy, once a week, and nothing that will go viral either. And that's exactly kind of why I wanted to talk about it tonight, because I will still make videos. I'm not quitting the channel. So just putting that out there right now, you guys don't have to worry. I'm not quitting the channel. I'm not deleting the channel, nothing like that. But things are going to be ran completely different moving forward, I think, because you all know too, whether you're a new subscriber or you followed me for a significant amount of time at this point, you all know that my end game is to get on the road and live as a nomad again. Well, when you're spending hours and hours doing a ton of work for, really, let's be real here. Let's be brutally honest. Even if I was monetized, I would not be making a bunch of money on this channel. I want to live on the road. And I'm sure all of you, you've all supported me for how long? I'm sure you guys want me to achieve my dream of living on the road. So it seems almost counterproductive to me to be spending 2.5 days to make a 10-minute video when in reality, you're not going to make any money pretty much off of it. Like, nothing like that. I can still share my stories with you guys. You can still like enjoy my stories, but I think I need to stop spending so much time on my videos and like just so much work and stuff on the channel. I really do. And Nate even said it to me at the beginning of all of this when I was experiencing this burnout and said I need to take a step back. We were texting one-on-one, and he said he recommended to me that you pick 3 main things in your life. What are the 3 most important things? And those have to come first before all else. So really, just being honest, my 3 things in this order. Number 1, Rocky. Rocky comes above everything and anything else. He is number 1 in my life. Number 2 is my traveling. Traveling comes after everything else besides Rocky. And number 3, my health. I need to start taking more priority in that as well. So those are my 3 things. Those are my 3 priorities. Whatever I need to do to take care of Rocky, whatever I need to do in order to travel, and whatever I need to do to live a healthy life. Those are my 3 main topics. And I'm very thankful. I know he's not here now, but Nate, if you see this later on, I'm very thankful for that piece of advice because it really made me stop and think and reconsider how I want to do everything moving forward. And it's also not just all about the money, though, either. It's, again, YouTube really became a job. It became a job. Versus I could sit down and relax and write a book, and you guys can, if you're interested and that's something you would enjoy, you could buy my book, and outside of the money, we're not talking about the money here, you guys can read my work and hear my stories and go on my adventures with me. And I could do it in a way that's more passionate to me, that is more fun and everything like that. Because at the end of the day, I don't consider myself a YouTuber. I consider myself a writer. I'm a better writer than I am a YouTuber. And I love writing, and I don't do it enough. I see William coming in. Hey, William. So I want to take some time and talk about that because I know there's a lot of new subscribers here, and some people are going to call me crazy for saying this stuff, but I don't care that my channel jumped by 1,000 subscribers in a couple months. I don't care if I lose them. Those who genuinely care about me and genuinely care about my dreams and genuinely care about Rocky, they're going to stick around. Those who genuinely care and want to hear about my stories and see my adventures, they're going to stick around. But if you're expecting, like, at the beginning, I was posting a video every 3 days. That's what I would do. 2.5 days of editing, post it. 2.5 days of editing, post it. That is never, it's not going to happen again. So if you're expecting this channel to be like that, that is not who I am. And that is part of this channel, though. My travel is not the niche. I get asked that time and time again. Well, what is your niche? What is your niche? Traveling is not my niche. That is a very big part of this channel, yes. But it's not my niche. I am my niche. And people say, well, our personalities aren't interesting enough. You need to have exciting. I don't care. This whole channel started because I wanted to document the stuff for me. For me, I wanted to look back and go, I can't believe I did that. Or just when I'm feeling nostalgic, look back and smile at all the crazy stuff I've done. Like going to Kenya and riding an ostrich. I can't believe that's just such a random thought that came up on Captain Jack's live stream, and I'm so excited for it. That's what YouTube is all about to me. It's not about making money. It's not about having because what did they say too? Fans. It's not about having fans. It's not about having a giant fan base. It's not. It's not. And it's never going to be. It never will be. That's not who I am, and this is not who this channel is. This channel is about me, my life. If you care and you want to tag along and you want to hear my stories, awesome. That's awesome. It's really cool. The fact that right now I have 8 people on this live stream watching me. It's people say it's 8 people. But it's 8 people. That is mind-boggling to me. Many of you, Georgianne, Nancy, William, Linda, I've never met you guys in person, yet here you are watching me live. That is so cool to me. It's cool, but at the end of the day, William's bringing up a good point. We are friends, not fans. So, and that's the other thing too. You guys have heard me talk about it. William's bringing it up. Don't worry about what other people say. Your content is awesome. And I always appreciate that. I always feel like I can do better, but that's part of being a creator. You always think you're going to do better. We are our own harshest critics. I'm always going to see the worst in my videos, but you also can't let that control you. Stuff like that. Georgianne saying we love your channel. If people don't want to watch it, then don't watch. And you know what, Georgianne? Thank you. I'm going to be blunt because that is what this conversation is about right now. If you don't want to watch, then don't watch. Because the people that want to watch, they will. They will stick around. They will be here, like all of you that are here live right now. You guys have followed me for how long? And that's what YouTube's about. For me, documenting my life. And if I have some awesome people like you guys here with me, it just makes it that much better. But it also shouldn't become a job. And I'm not going to care what people say. I don't care how it should be done. That's another thing. YouTube is a fast-paced. Your retention on YouTube is insanely important. You need to have people hooked instantly, and you got to keep them hooked. And it's second after second, fast-paced. No, not who I am. So if you don't want to watch, don't watch. Like I said, I'm sorry. I appreciate 1,000 people subscribing over the last couple months. But if you come here over the last couple months expecting a channel like that, or you expect me to change, I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. And with that, I know all of you, again, patient, understanding. I am going to start working on some Europe videos. I did start editing one already, so I'm in the works of getting something edited for you guys. And we are actually going to have a very, very special guest star on this channel at some point. So there are things in the works. I am starting to get back into the swing of things now. So again, I thank you all for your patience, your understanding, and there will be some new Europe content coming out soon, but it also might look a little bit differently. Even these live streams might look a little different. I'm going to stop paying for StreamYard every single month because you get the logo on the screen. Whatever. That's money that I could put towards living on the road. And again, if you guys genuinely care, which I know everyone who's here right now does, if people genuinely care, they probably would be happy with me saving that money and putting it towards my dream of living on the road. I see William, that seagull was hungry. They are like that here. That is YouTube though. That is really how it is. It's like more, constant, instant satisfaction is what they want. And that is why many big name YouTubers are even quitting, because they're experiencing that burnout. So I got to take a step back. Nate on his live stream, what was it, last week? He was talking about his editing software. I'm using the same editing software right now. It costs a couple $100 a year. Now, I love it. I really do. It is amazing. The tools are amazing, but it's very in depth. Um, I I don't know if I want to continue doing that. And George Anza Green, well said, Kobe. Save that money, but live your life. That's part of the editing. Do I want to be spending a couple $100 on the editing software, or do I just go back to a cheaper or even free software where maybe the videos won't be top notch, but I could still share my stories and everything? You also have to do what makes you happy. Absolutely. And that's part of it. I know my book. I know several people bought my first book. Lots of people loved it. They wanted to know when I was going to write a second book. I would love to. A matter of fact, here's an update for you guys on that. I'm not only writing one book now. I would love, you want to know what would make me happy? You want to know what would make me happy? To write 2 books over the next year and have 2 books published next summer. And again, I don't care about the money. My first book, I'm still in the negatives, I'm sure. And the fact that I can't even tell you that one way or the other shows how I really don't care, because I don't keep track. But the first book, for example, it talked about depression, anxiety, stuff like that. And to me, it was really cool to say I wrote a book and published a book, because that's something I really, really, really love to do, which William's saying to take your time. 2 books in a year is kind of crazy, but it's something I love to do, and I would spend a lot of time doing it if I just kind of took a step back and allowed myself to relax. I wouldn't see writing the book as work. It would be really, really fun to me to do that. And that's just that first book. Again, depression, anxiety, stuff like that. I had so many people, oh, this book inspired me. This book inspired me to live on the road. It inspired me in this way. It helped me in my day-to-day life. It helped with depression. It helped with my anxiety. The fact that I could make something that I was already proud of by itself and be able to say I was a published author, that was such a cool idea to me. But then having people read it, and not only that, have people say they loved it, and people asking me when my next book was, and hearing these things about how it helped them. Like, that was just icing on top of the cake over and over and over and over and over again. YouTube has kind of lost that. I was never really big into the YouTube to begin with. I just got caught up in the rat race. I see Nancy saying that she used to use CapCut. Okay, give me a second. I'm gonna Google that quick, just so I can make a note of it and look into that myself. Thank you, Nancy. Yeah. I just, even sitting here talking about this to you guys, this smile on my face, it's so, I don't know how to say it, relieving, so amazing. It's such a great feeling. The idea of not letting YouTube control me anymore. I'm not going to do these crazy long hours of editing and editing and editing. I'm just going to make a video and keep it simple, something that I'm happy with. And I'm going to write a book. And photography is something that I've wanted to get into. Amy's taking the word right out of my mouth. Thank you, Amy. Liberating. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I've wanted to do photography for so long. I would love more than anything on top of writing the books, but I would love to learn more about photography. I would love to get into that world. I don't expect to sell a lot, but it's just so cool to me. The pictures that you can take and some of the photos I have taken already, I'm very, very proud of. Again, it comes down to me. Like, there's a photo of me writing a book in, or not writing, reading a book in Arizona, and you got the sunset behind me. Absolutely breathtaking photo. I don't think I'd ever sell a copy because it's kind of weird to have a photo of me in it, but it is such a cool photo to me. It is one of the coolest photos I think I've ever taken. It's stuff like that. It's not just how do I say this? Going to Venice. That was a dream of mine for a long time. So to look back and go, "Oh my god, I went to Venice." It's kind of like that in a way. "Oh my god, I took this photo. I can't believe that." Or a moment it's liberating. It's liberating. Um so yeah, I'm trying to think what else I was going to talk to you guys about tonight. We're not going to Niagara Falls. I don't need the surgery. Kenya should be a go physical wise. Um, Georgianne's bringing up a great point too. You and Rocky take a weekend, go somewhere, relax, and do what you love. That is part of what I loved about doing the nomad life. I did that all the time. It was really fun. And not just YouTube, but with the job and everything, it's been much harder for me to do that. And these Europe trips and stuff are amazing. Don't get me wrong, but sometimes you don't need to go that big either. Like, I hate that there's snow outside, otherwise, I would do this right now. I would love to just go out into the middle of the woods for 3 days. And Nate and I have talked about it. You on YouTube, sometimes there's people that are like, "Oh my god, we haven't heard from them this week. I hope they're okay," and they panic. So it's I also want to do that. That's something that I've kind of getting into the rat race of YouTube. I I want to go off the grid. I want to go take 3-4 days and go where I don't have any cell phone signal, no internet, and just camp in the middle of the woods. Maybe bring my guitar out there, bring a piece of paper, some paper and a pencil, and just write. That's I don't know if I ever told you guys this. This is going off of William's comment here though. One of my favorite stories, or not stories, but one of my favorite moments. You guys have seen so much. I've went skydiving. I've published a book. I've went to Venice, Italy. I've gone to Yellowstone. I've done so much of my childhood dreams, so many dreams. I've went to New York City and saw Phantom of the Opera on Broadway. So many of my dreams I've made come true. You know what? One of my favorite memories is nothing insane like that. It's simply going down to Florida and sitting in a bookstore. And I sat in a cafe in the bookstore. And I sat there, put some classical music on, and I wrote my book. And every morning I would go to the gym, I'd work out, and then immediately, as like literally the store would not be open, I'd be waiting by the door for it to open. As soon as they open, I would go in there 10 a.m. and I'd stay till 8 p.m. I would order a frozen hot chocolate or a cappuccino, and I would order a scone and put my music on. I'd write my book. I would people watch because the cafe had like chessboards. So every 2 days there was like chess tournaments. So I'd watch people play chess, and be hitting the something so simple, but yet it is one of my favorite memories of my life because it's simply doing what I loved. The seagull took his pizza in Venice would be a good part in your book, Kobe. And it is. The video is awesome, don't get me wrong. The video I think is funny. It's funny. But I would love to put that into words. I would love to write that. And there is a lot of stuff that, because I can't capture it on video, like for example, I did talk to somebody. I most likely at one point will make a video, not on a funny or like fun term, but an educational video about the concentration camp that we went to while we were in Germany. It's not funny. It's not fun. It's not exciting. I want to make an educational video though, because I feel like that's very important. And with that, that's something too that honestly I feel like is very, very difficult to make a video for. There's a lot of people that do it, but I don't feel like I'm very skillful when it comes to making a video like that, because it's also very tricky. You gotta watch what you're recording, and it's just very, very tricky. So it almost becomes this live stream like this where I just talk about my experience going there, which nothing wrong with that. It's an educational video. It's made to help spread awareness and stuff like that. But I feel like the point of sharing my trip to the concentration camp, the point of all of that, the educational purpose behind all of it, I can express it better in my book versus than I ever could on YouTube. That's just me personally. I see William saying I'm retired. Between going back to work, taking care of her got to be too much for me, so I went back to my family cabin and stayed 5 days. I need something like that right now. Just go out to a cabin and just take 5 days and really hit a reset button and relax and just write my book or work on some photography, stuff like that. That is really, Linda's saying you love traveling and camping with Rocky. I really, really do. But really, the reason I fell in love with the nomad life, ultimately, it was the freedom. It was the freedom to do what I love when I wanted to do it. Not having a 9-to-5 job and being tied up. And I get it. Everybody wishes they could just do whatever they want whenever they want and live their life that way. I get it. It's a part of being adults. We have bills to pay and et cetera. But there's also many things I can do, like living on the road. I could go to campgrounds, and I have experience now managing buildings, people. I could be a campground host. I have experience, job experience as a housekeeper. I could go and do housekeeping at campgrounds or stuff like that, which fits with my lifestyle. Something like that. Like literally, guys, if I could pick the ultimate dream, it would be to be living on the road, and I travel to campground and I'm hosting or housekeeping or whatever, and people, I get it, people frown upon it, like, oh my god, you're a housekeeper or you're a glorified janitor or whatever. I don't care. Those jobs, if you ask me, those jobs are more important than anything. Even though they often are seen as the bottom men, I think they're the top. I much respect for those jobs. And if it helps me do what I want to do and travel and camp and write a book and do photography, and I'm living my life to the fullest. And that's all this channel is about. It's literally the name, Living the Dream. Right now, unfortunately, I am no longer living in the dream. I've let the rat race kind of take over the last couple months. That's got to change. You were so excited. I felt so good for you, William saying. And he's commenting back to Linda. It was great. Lived with nature, no phone, no internet. There's actually the Porcupine Mountains up by me every May, starting in May, I think. They pick 5 creators, artists, and you get to stay for free in their cabins, and there's no internet, no phone, and you get to live there, I think, all summer long. And all they ask is that you do whatever it is. So if you're an author, you work on your book. If you're a painter, you paint. That's what they ask you to do there. And that, oh my God, that would, wow. The idea of that would be a dream come true. It really would be. I'm unique in that way. I don't go by what the system is. Never really have. I don't care about the whole, like, I was laughing the other, last week? People were talking about retirement being raised to 70. I just laughed. Like, really? You really think you're going to get me to play your game until I'm 70? I practically haven't played your game. Like, pretty much since becoming an adult, I have done things my way. And do I regret anything? No. Okay, maybe buying the bus. But the point is, I've done everything my way. I've never done it. This is how it should be done. This is, by this age, you're supposed to have a house. This age, you're supposed to, no. And wow, has it paid off so much, I think. So why not? I'm just going to keep living my life like that. And that's the thing too. You guys hear me talk about it. Tomorrow's never guaranteed. So many people save up for retirement and then they pass away before they even retire. There's a story of someone who saved up for a sailboat and they bought a sailboat finally, and then they passed away during retirement, never even got to use the sailboat. I don't want to have a sailboat sitting in my driveway. And God forbid that means that my sailboat's out on the ocean and it, capsizes a little bit earlier than it typical. That's why Rocky becomes number 1 in my life. Because all my experiences and everything, if I'm being honest with you guys, it's not like I want to die. Don't get me wrong there. Don't panic. But if I, like this hot air balloon in Africa, say something goes wrong. If something were to happen to me, my concern right now is what would happen to Rocky. That is my only concern. But take Rocky out of the equation, I wouldn't care. Because I would hope that my friends and my family would know that I went out doing what I loved. And to me, that is a life well lived. That is me living my life to the fullest. That, God forbid, if there was an accident and something happened, it's my time. I'm okay with that. And there's something very liberating and free about that as well. Knowing that you only have one life to make the most of it. You only have so many weeks, so many years, so much time. Just live it to the fullest. I see Linda saying I make her laugh. Thank you, Linda. You know, half the time I feel like you're laughing about the birds, though, because God forbid, it seems like every time I go to a new location, I get attacked by a bird. Whoa, hold up a minute. Every time I go to a new location, I get attacked by a bird. Who was on Captain Jack's live stream and who brought up the idea to frickin' ride an ostrich? Because they planned that out. In hindsight, I don't think ostrich riding is a good idea now. I'm going to get attacked by that ostrich. It's bound to happen. It's bound to happen. It's going to happen. Every time I go somewhere new, I get attacked by a bird. Go to Arizona, got attacked by a seagull. Go to Italy, get attacked by a seagull. Go to Kenya, I'm going to get attacked by an ostrich. I swear to God, if I get attacked by an ostrich, it better be on video. I see Brene coming in. Hey, thank you for stopping in. Williams agreeing tomorrow is never promised to anyone, so simply enjoy today. Seriously, guys, who came up with that now? That is going to drive me nuts. Who wanted me to ride the ostrich? Because you guys purposely said that because you want me to get attacked by that ostrich. I am on to you. Would bear spray work on an ostrich? Would the TSA allow bear spray through security? I'm going to get attacked by an ostrich. Here I am making jokes about how my last words in Africa are going to be "here, kitty, kitty," and in reality, it's going to be me screaming as an ostrich chases me across the safari. Which, give me a second here. I thought of this movie. This is going to be me in Africa. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this. Let me see if I could get a picture of it. I don't think it was Nate, William. I see your comment. I don't think it was Nate. I need to open this up because if you guys have not seen this movie, you have to watch this movie before I go to Africa. Let's see. Present screen, share screen. Yeah, this one. If you guys have not seen this movie, you need to watch it before I leave to Kenya. Because, oh my God, that is going to be me on that ostrich. I need to watch this movie again before I go to Africa just so I can take some notes. There's so many funny scenes where it's like they're paragliding and they almost land on like a rhino horn and he gets thrown off the ostrich and all this. Like, I need to take safety notes. I need to watch this movie and take notes because otherwise you guys are going to be getting a video of me on an ostrich exactly like that. I see William. Hold on before we get to Nancy. I see William saying he saw it and it is really funny. That's going to be me, William. That is going to be the content you guys get from Kenya. I can already see how it's going to go. There's no seagulls, I think. I'm about to Google that. Is there seagulls in Kenya? Oh, there's great on coastal towns and cities. I'm staying away from the coast. I don't know where the coast is, but I'm staying away from the coast. Yeah, I'm staying away from the coast. I don't think I'll be by the coast. I swear to God, if I get attacked by a seagull in frickin' Kenya too, then I need to find a way to put a bet on that. Because every time I go to a new country or anything, like I said, I go to Arizona and I got attacked by a seagull. Like, if you guys ever have a bet going, you better bet that I am going to get attacked. Like, your chances, you're going to win. Nancy's asking if I am doing a group tour. I am. And right now, let me give you an update on the list here. The group chat has finally opened up. So as of right now, We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 10 of us currently going on this trip, and I am the only male right now. So I might have a room to myself. I'm not going to get my hopes up because, if anything, I only share a room with one other person anyway. But I might have a room to myself, so that's kind of cool. Linda's agreeing. It's you with the ostrich. Yep, that's going to be me. It's going to be so bad. It's going to be so cool. So cool. I mean, where else do you ride an ostrich? But I know it's going to end bad already. It's going to end so badly. I am going to be running away, screaming, and the ostrich is going to be chasing after me, and everyone's going to be sitting there recording me laughing. What an adventure. Watch Alfred Hitchcock, The Birds. The Birds. Oh, that's what the last thing I was going to share with you guys. So Kenya, Kobe and all the girls. I see that, Linda. I see that comment. Don't start there. My best friend was already starting with that again, and my sister, my oldest sister, was already starting with that again. They were like, "Oh, so are you gonna get together with somebody this time? Are you gonna try to get a girlfriend?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, stop! Just stop." Kenya, I realized apparently there is a travel warning on Kenya. I'm not too worried about it, but I'm going to make sure, safety wise, I'm going to make sure I'm not traveling alone at night, especially like I did in Europe or like I do here in the US. Things are going to be ran a little bit differently. I'm going to try to live stream for you guys at some point if I can. No promises. We're going to play it by ear just like we did in Europe. I see another Mrs. Chewy coming in the house here. Or Miss Chewy, my bad. I knew it was you. It's driving me crazy. Right, Georgianne, right? Storms have begun, she's saying. But apparently outside of the travel warning, the vaccines is what I'm trying to say. Medications. I have one place telling me that I only need anti-malaria pills, I think it was. Nothing else. And then when you go on the actual government website for the US, it says like a giant list of things, one of which is a yellow fever shot. As many of you know, I hate shots. But outside of that, apparently the yellow fever shot is like $400 to $500 by itself. So that's going to be interesting. Actually, once I wrap this up, I'm going to contact the tour group, and I'm just going to ask them like, "Hey, do I need this vaccine? Do I need this? Do I need this?" See what they say, and then I'm going to go to my doctor and be like, "So I'm going here. Do I need this? Do I need this?" Cuz some of them are saying that like you need it, but not if you go to these cities, which I am going to those cities, some of them anyway, but I don't know. It's very, very tricky. I see Nancy saying we had a monsoon. Ooh, wow. Yeah, glad you are okay, Georgianne or Nancy. Jeez. It's that time of year, apparently, just all of this bad, bad weather. William saying whenever you need a guest, I'm guessing guest, I will come up and help. So to tease the guest a little bit, we're gonna go a little bit over an hour. Since Captain Jack's not live tonight, I'm in no rush. I'm feeling good, healthy. You guys can probably tell. But we're going back to the guest. I am going to have a guest speaker. We will probably do that next week, maybe this weekend. I have to look with him and schedule, see what works with his schedule. But it's actually my former coach. He coached me for 3 months, and personally, it wasn't for me because he deals more with like social anxiety, stuff like that, stuff that I do encounter myself, but I do push through really well, I think. So he's about social anxiety, but the reason he is going to be the guest speaker coming up is because he is the person who was born and raised in Europe and dreamed about coming to the US, versus I was born and raised in the US and I dreamed about going to Europe. Well, ironically enough, shortly before I went to Europe, he came here to the US and he stayed here for a little bit, and he stayed here while I was also in Europe. So it was very cool to have like my former coach. Normally, time zones, he was in Europe, I was in the US, and that's how we would have to work. But now it was the complete opposite. I was trying to message him about, oh my God, Europe is so cool. And it would be United States time. It was such a cool experience on my side. But I want to bring him up and introduce you guys to him and have him share some stories about coming to the US, being born and raised in Europe. And we could talk a little bit afterwards on my side of it. You guys already kind of have heard mine about coming to the US, but going to Europe, we'll talk about like culture shocks, what I've experienced culture shock wise and what he's experienced. But my next location, I see William saying, are you going to send out a notification? Yes. This time I will plan this far enough ahead, you guys. Like, that's probably something else that I will do tonight. As soon as I get off with this live stream, I'll message him. I'll get his schedule. I'll see when it's available. So keep your eyes out this weekend or next week. I will post it ahead of time. I will have it uploaded. So you guys know exactly what day and what time we'll be going live. And Nancy's bringing up exactly what I'm thinking. I'm sure he will have an interesting perspective on the US. I think it's just so cool to have someone born and raised in Europe dreaming about coming to the US. It'll be so cool to hear his perspective, his culture shocks, etc., and compare it to me being born and raised here and going to Europe and talking about my culture shocks. But after Venice, because at this point, hold on, I want to get to this so I don't forget. I see Amy's asking, what's needed to go to Kenya might be different from what you'll need to come back. That is also a very good point, Amy. Thank you on that, actually. That's something I didn't consider about. Could be drastically different. I do need to get to the bottom of that, though. There's only like 80 days until I leave, so that's going to come up quick. Going back to the guest speaker, though, at this point, you guys have seen all my Venice videos. I'm not going to post any more on Venice. So after that, I went to Salzburg, Austria. It is the hometown of Mozart. He was born and raised there. But Captain Jack and I have talked about it a little bit on his live stream. It's also where the hit movie The Sound of Music was recorded. So to me, at first, I never even heard of it. It was kind of like a whatever. It's just going to be a random stop in between Switzerland and Italy, because those were the two locations on my bucket list. That's why I booked the trip. I thought it would still be cool, but I really had no interest or whatever. It was going to be whatever, just a cool little location along the way, basically. It was a hidden gem. Out of all the places I visited in Europe, I would love to go back there one day. And was just an absolutely amazing day, an amazing experience. I wish I got to spend more time there. And it's really, really cool because he's going to share a story with you guys about going there himself. He has a really, really cool video, um, or not video. I mean, he kind of has a video on it, but a really, really cool story about Salzburg. And I would love to have him share his story with you guys before I start posting content on the town or on the city. George Ann's asking, do you hear from the people you went with? I do actually, Georgianne. It's kind of funny you asked that at this point because we are talking right now. A bunch of us are getting together and we're gonna go to Nashville for a weekend. So we still talk all the time. Williams, again, great question. We do talk pretty frequently still. I haven't seen them here on YouTube, but from what I've heard too, it seems like they are following along on YouTube. They check in. So one day you guys might actually see them too. And if they happen to be watching now or they see this in the future, please, you guys, feel free to join in the conversations and drop some comments down if you're comfortable with it. But they are also on my Facebook, so we see each other pretty frequently on there. I always laugh because I'll share a post about traveling and they'll heart react it, or they'll share a post and I'll go to share it and I'll see who it is. So funny. We obviously have similar interests, similar beliefs. And yeah, it's going to be tricky for me to go to Nashville because it's around the same time as the Kenya trip, but it is possible. It is possible. So we're going to see what I can do because I would really love to meet up with them and see them again and hang out with them a little bit. And with that too, we actually talk about upcoming trips. So Kenya, kind of short notice, but for New Year's, I'm going to Machu Picchu. Some of us have actually talked about like possibly teaming up and going on a trip together. So possibly maybe someone will join me and go to Machu Picchu with me. It's just really cool to have a shared experience. And my group, at least in Europe, I heard I got very, very lucky. The overall group in Europe was very close knit. Everyone really got along. For the most part, I really don't know of anyone that didn't get along. Really, um, everyone got along. It was a very big, fun group. Um, and I think because of that, because of all the stuff we went through in such a short amount of time and having such a shared experience, I think it really brought us close together. And that's something I am looking forward to with Kenya as well. I mean, not all of it was fun. I shouldn't laugh. I shouldn't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for laughing. I really shouldn't. But I laugh because not all of it was sunshine and rainbows in Europe either. I don't know if I ever shared the story with you guys. I will eventually. But when we were sledding, they call it sledging because it's more extreme. But when we were sledding in Switzerland, someone took out a young child and they ended up, unfortunately, getting airlifted off of the Swiss Alps, which is why I shouldn't be laughing. But in hindsight, I laugh because it's like, oh my God, I can't believe that happened. Because it was just, I remember recording, I was on my phone going, oh my God, this is gorgeous. And then I went, oh my God, that looked like it hurt. And then I was like, oh my God, was that so and so? Oh my God, it was. He just took out a child. Everyone was just so shocked by it. So in hindsight, I that's why I laugh, even though it was a horrible thing. Um, And that William's bringing up a good point too. Everyone looked out for everyone. We went to the beer capital of the planet on New Year's. You guys have heard me talk about how it is considered a war zone. Everyone looked out for everyone and made sure you were taken care of. If you were drinking, we always made sure, like, basically when we went out, there were what, 33 of us total, I think. There was always about 15 to 20 if we went out at night, and we would allow the group to get pretty much hammered, but always 2 or 3 of us would stay completely sober for the most part. Maybe like I would have one drink, but not one that would screw me up, something like a little lighter. And that way we'd be able to navigate, keep track of everyone, work as a group, as a team still. We really looked out for each other and worked as a team. And that's funny stuff like that too. Trying to get, because Venice is an island. The Venice that everyone thinks about, it's an island. You don't stay on the island. You stay on the mainland. So picture us, our first night in Venice. Nobody speaks Italian except me. I speak a little bit. So here I am trying to speak with locals about how to buy a ticket or how to get to. It was so funny. We're trying to work these ticket machines, these kiosks for trains, for a bus. None of us speaks Italian. We're trying to talk to the locals. Some of the locals are purposely messing with us. And then lo and behold, we go back to the we split up half and half. We go back to the train kiosk, and all of a sudden, guess what? There's a button that says English. We did that. We found that out on like night 2, I think. And it's like, oh my God. After all the struggling, just those moments are so amazing. And those are moments that I often don't get to share with you guys on here. And it's exactly those moments that I love to write about and what I would love to put in a book and share with everyone. There's so many funny moments, so many great moments looking back. And just think, we have Kenya coming up and Machu Picchu at the end of the year. So it's some amazing memories. I can't wait. Absolutely can't wait. So with that, I think I am going to wrap up the live stream now. I got to message our guest speaker. I am going to message him right now, look at his schedule, get it scheduled, and I will put it on YouTube by the end of tonight. So if you guys are available, just stop in later tonight and I'll have a live stream pre-scheduled so you'll know exactly when it'll be. And I'm going to go message the tour group and everything and figure out, 1, what is needed to get to Kenya, and 2, what is needed to come back, because I do not want them to refuse me entry into the country. I don't want to leave Rocky behind. If Rocky was with me, I'd be like, okay, whatever, I'm just staying. But yeah, we're gonna end the live stream here, guys. So thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for staying for so long. Oh, I see. Hold on. My mother-in-law was deaf and was able to take all deaf group tours to Japan and Middle East in the 80s. That is really cool, Linda. That is awesome that they got to do that. I see Georgianne saying, having a great night. Awesome live. Much love, William. Right back to you. Thank you, Amy. Great to see you motivated and focused. Have a great week. Can you guys tell that I'm feeling physically better and it's making a giant difference on my mental health as well? Can't wait, you guys. But yes, have a great night, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for staying for so long. We went past an hour. We just got into the zone, but I will see you all this weekend or next week with our special guest star.